Tēnā koutou, welcome to the 6'4 Army breakdown of the individual quarterfinals workouts for the CrossFit season 2023. We're going to be doing these breakdowns one workout at a time, and today is about workout number 1. So the workout number 1 consists of 9 front squats, weight 1, 9 handstand walks in 25 feet increments, 15 front squats, weight number 2, 15 muscle ups, 21 front squats, weight number 3, followed by 21 chest wall handstand push-ups. Total time cap 15 minutes. Your loads are there. You'll see it written in the description of this video. Look, it's a very high complexity gymnastics workout. The weights don't seem too crazy. Yes, they are going to slow people down somewhat. Yes, there's a bit of shoulder fatigue there that may not be predicted from the front squat because it's a leg dominant exercise. But when you combine something like that with handstand walks, the dip out of ring muscle ups, and then also the handstand push-ups, the shoulders do definitely need to be taken into account of accumulated fatigue. The front squats on weight 1, if it's only 70% or less of your 1 rep max, so if you're looking at doing this in 1 set only, if it's say 60% of your 1 rep max, you're going to chop that set of front squats up into 1 to 3 sets, and then obviously if you're down at 80% of your 1 rep max, then you might be looking at 3 or 4 sets on the front squats. Ultimately, you don't want to get yourself any no reps on that one unless you're really struggling or pushing towards what would be your maximum amount of weight lifted. So if you're going for a potential 1RM or it's 95% plus each time, then for sure you're going to grind out as much as you can. Just know that rest is going to be your most important thing in this workout in between the reps, and don't just drop the bar and then try to do 30 seconds later. You may need 1 minute or more. Just for some context there, in strength training, usually you would hit a set of 80% or even 75% to 80% of your 1 rep max and look to have about 2.5-3 minutes rest in between sets. Because this is timed at high intensity, usually we would freak out a little bit in CrossFit and go probably sooner than needs to be. So you want to conserve some energy there. The handstand walks already, it's a problem for a lot of athletes having to be 25 feet unbroken segments. So if that's the case, the 9 front squats will be the first tie break time. If you don't think that you can get through the first handstand walk, then you're going to do 9 front squats as fast as possible. You might leave your workout there for the day. You might have a few cracks at handstand walking, but if you know that that's not going to be for you, then that might be the only way that you're testing that workout. You could probably do the 9 front squats multiple times to see if you can beat your own time on that. Handstand walks, again, the 9 total lengths, it equates to quite the amount of distance when you add it all up, 60 meters, I think just shy of 200 feet, just over 200 feet. So you are going to want to regulate yourself at each turning point. Don't rush to kick up and come back, because you want to secure every single handstand walk as much as possible. And in the same boat as that 90% threshold on a barbell lift requiring X amount of time to rest, I always find that this is the place that people struggle the most on handstand walking. They'll come down, they'll go back to the start, they'll kick straight back up and go again. You need to replenish. You need that muscle recovery. If your musculature endurance isn't quite there, or the movement the movement patterns for you aren't quite there, take your time. Successful reps are far more important than missed reps. You could by all means rest 1 minute and make another successful attempt, as opposed to having 6 times 10-second attempts in that 1 minute and getting nowhere. I would rather prefer you slow yourself down and make successful lifts. At that point, the bar number 2, you can have a partner change your weights, an assisted person change your weights, or you can have a second barbell set up. I think that the weight on this barbell, as it's descending, you're looking at doing 2 to 3 sets on this barbell. Even if you are an elite athlete that's looking like going unbroken, I would still save some in the tank. There's no love lost in dropping the bar even for a 5-second quick break. You're going to recover and allow some oxygen to reflow and reoxygenate the shoulder area, especially when you're coming into the next movement being the muscle ups, and you're going to need that from the accrued fatigue. On the muscle ups, again, we've just got roadblocks every single step of the way in this workout. So the game plan is not a one size fits all. I would like to think of these muscle ups specifically and put them in the kind of the same bracket as the muscle ups from the open workout. Probably you're going to be in about a 10 to 20% better position at this point because it's far less time spent to get to this point, but the accrued fatigue on these specific movements are going to be in the same pattern. So all we want to do here is stay away from failure of rep unless you're a person that's only doing one at a time and you're squeezing in every rep. Again, you're managing that rep versus rest versus rep versus rest. If you are pushing the rep, it's for the 15th muscle up only, and or if you're coming close to that time cap, you're pushing for that rep. Otherwise, it's successful attempts only that we're looking for. I would hope to think that you wouldn't finish this workout and have 6 failed muscle ups, knowingly that you could have slowed yourself down and banked 3 more of those. Potentially there was 3 more that would have got you into the next set of front squats, which would have continued your workout. So you have to be kind of smart here. Don't go till failure. Rest enough to go back up for another chunk of sets in between. But even a top level athlete, I wouldn't be doing I wouldn't be doing less than 2 sets. So 2 to 3 sets at maximum, and then from there you can chop them up absolutely any way that you want. If you're a female that's looking at going all the way through to the chest to wall handstand push-ups, those muscle ups could be as low as 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. We definitely are going to want to save some of ourselves for those chest to wall handstand push-ups. I don't think that the third barbell for the front squats is going to be too complicated or too impactful. Obviously, again, you're going to be at different portions. If you get to this barbell, some of you may have a lot of time, some of you may not. So you're going to try and bang out as many as you can if you're on the other end of the spectrum, or if you're the latter. If you're at the former, then you can absolutely chop these reps up again. You'll be looking at the same kind of breakdown as the middle barbell, so 2 to 3 sets. The accrued fatigue, again, by this point with the additional reps, is going to be about the same amount of energy expenditure as those 15 reps in the middle set. Then finally, the chest to wall handstand push-ups. I can definitely see athletes getting all the way to this point and they're getting none of these from the back. So make sure that we're here with energy. If you think that you're going to get here, you're here with energy and not just here with time. You want to use as much of the movement standard as possible, thumbs on the tape for as wide as you can, and then you're going to try and want to dive your head forward in front of those hands. So imagine my hands here, head up here, you've got this nice little tripod positioning, and you're going to get more of a chest press that pushes you back towards the wall. As a taller athlete, you're going to struggle a little bit more, because it's like in having a ladder that's too close to the wall, and a ladder incline here, it comes out 1 part to the bottom for how tall it is. But if you're here this narrow to the wall, as you start to descend, you've got more susceptibility to coming off of the wall. So in that point in time, if you're a taller athlete, you're definitely going to want to cantilever your balance and weight by hand, and then diving your head as far forward to get that tripod pressing position as possible. And every rep there is going to count. Just note that it is a wall walk up to each rep when you begin. So there's no cartwheeling into the rep. So that's going to play a part in how you break these up. Essentially, you're going to want to fight for every rep when you are there and just work really, really hard at trying to avoid a no rep. I wouldn't say leave one in the tank. I wouldn't do a set and then hoping to leave one left in the tank. I would actually try and exhaust every rep from the tank and hope that I don't fail one, and then I'm just going to assess and adjust how I perform at that point in time. So it's what we call playing eyes up. At that point in the workout, you're going to get there and everyone's going to be in a different position. You're not necessarily going to have the exact plan that you had at the beginning going to work for you at this point in time. So you really just have to go off the cuff and be malleable and I guess pliable to how you're going to attack those at the time when you get there. And just have that in mind, that when you are working, you're working hard. When you're resting, just really take the time to recompose and down regulate, and then try and just have a little bit of a game plan that can move off of the original target as you go. So that's workout 1. I hope that these tips and tricks are supportive for you. In the description for this video, you can also see our warm-ups, strategies, breakdowns, and guidance through the whole workout. Cheers, team.
Dive right in.